I am a lawyer. I'm not your lawyer. Okay?
Yeah.
How can I help?
So basically, like, my neighborhood got like everyone in my neighborhood got a letter from HOA saying that we owe fees for like so at least for us, like we got like $100, but they told up to like $2,000 based off of they're trying to charge us for their lawyer fees. We're trying to pursue tackle the entire neighborhood's collection.
You got a letter from the HOA saying that you owe money because the HOA needs that money to spend the money, right? And you're wanting here to pay that?
No.
What's your question?
And the question is like, how should we see it? Should we see it through like getting our own law, or should we like organize with the entire?
Nothing you can do. You have to pay it.
Okay.
It's called an assessment, right? So like if you live in a condo building, you have an HOA. The HOA charges fees for the maintenance and the preservation of the building, right? If something happens as a storm, they come in and the roof is damaged, and then you have to get a new roof for the building, and it's $5 million, but they only have $4 million in insurance coverage, they gotta come up with that extra $1 million. So they gotta borrow that money, they need a down payment from the bank, or they gotta just come up with cash. Then every resident in the building has to pony up money to pay for it. Right, because you're paying for the common good of it. So if your neighborhood has an HOA, the HOA has expenses, whatever those are, right? They file what's called an assessment, and you have to pay them.
They didn't, because they're charging also the lawyer fees and also like
what I'm saying is like for like all of the expenses that belong to the HOA are on behalf of the community, right? So if you've got people in the neighborhood that are parking trucks or doing illegal like modifications or not cutting their grass and they're assessing fines, and then those people aren't paying those fines, then the HOA has to sue that person to pay the fine. The HOA has to pay for an attorney. The fees belong to the HOA. The HOA is the benefit of the homeowners. The homeowners have to fund the HOA if the covenants from the HOA says you have to do so. So like that's that's what's called an assessment. So the HOA votes on and passes an assessment to cover their expenses, as long as the expenses are like legitimate or valid. They're not just making shit up. Like we need $10,000 for the pool and they don't got a pool, you're gonna pay it.
yeah. And you're saying that you mentioned that if they're making shit up, like they sent us multiple letters where in one amount it's like $1,000, and then another letter saying it's like $1,000, like $1,500. Then this last one they're saying that it's like $2,000.
But they could have multiple attorneys and multiple fees. Like you could ask them for like an accounting for what they spent all the things on, why they have an assessment, right? But if the HOA is asking you for like $100, right? I mean, could you challenge it? Maybe. Will you win? Probably not. Will it cost you several $1,000s? Yes. If the HOA is asking you for like $100, right? I mean, could you challenge it? Maybe. Will you win? Probably not. Will it cost you several $1,000s? Yes. No lawyer's gonna do that for free. You're gonna have to pay them, right? Lawyers charge between $200 and $600 an hour. Like, it's not worth getting a lawyer to fight a $100 assessment from your HOA when you're probably going to lose, because HOAs are their own little principalities and little fiefdoms. Like they do their own thing. They operate within the terms of the agreement that you agreed to when you moved in. So if they're issuing an assessment, you probably have to pay it.
I got you.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Thanks for stopping by.